How can you get ahead of 99% of guitar players? After teaching for over 20 years, I've noticed that the students who become incredible players all had three things in common, and the ones who ignored these three things either hit a plateau or they gave up and quit. Today, I'll show you exactly what these three game changers are so you can focus on the things that actually matter. Think of your guitar progress like watering a plant. I planted some rose bushes at my house recently, and now a couple of them are completely dead because I wasn't watering them consistently. You've got to be consistent with your practice. You can't just dump a bucket of water onto a dying plant once a week and expect it to grow. The students I've seen make the most progress are the ones who water their skills every single day, and I would aim for at least 30 minutes a day, and if you can do more, that's even better. When I was starting out, I used to practice hours every day, but even if you can only manage 15 minutes, that's still better than trying to cram a couple hours into one day to catch up. But simply putting the time in isn't the only thing, because if you don't know how to practice smart, you could be wasting your time. I'll explain that more in a second, but first, I was watching an interview with Mateus the other day, and he was talking about his practice routine and the exercises he uses to warm up, and if you don't know who that is, you should definitely check him out. He's one of the absolute monster guitar players of this generation, but he didn't get there by accident. He's very intentional about the way he practices. He's got a structured 7-step warm-up routine where he works on different technique exercises and patterns like finding the notes on the neck, variation of the spider exercise, chromatic, a couple pentatonic exercises, hybrid picking and arpeggios, and double stops. So he starts every practice with a focus on technique. Think about it like this. Athletes don't just play their sport. They lift weights, do cardio, they practice fundamentals, and these exercises might not look like the actual game, but they build the strength and coordination they need to perform at their best. And it's the same thing with guitar. Technical exercises can build the finger strength and independence you need to play anything you want. And there's tons of different exercises you can practice, and I'll show you some in another video, so make sure you're subscribed. But out of the hundreds of students I've taught, the ones who became incredible players all made technique a part of their daily practice routine. Now, a while back, I taught a student named Trevor, and he was incredibly smart, and he picked things up super fast, but he lacked discipline in his practice. He was always sloppy and inconsistent in his playing, and he practiced like most people do, kind of hacking his way through scales or songs. And he would make mistakes and then just continue on without correcting them. It wasn't until he made one small tweak to his practice that everything changed. And literally 1 week, he was a completely different player. The next week, he came into his lesson and he could play his scales and his songs perfectly with no mistakes. And once he saw the results, he was hooked. So he started practicing that way every day, and his progress skyrocketed fast. So this is exactly what I told him, and it's the biggest thing that's helped me is learning how to practice. You've got to take things one piece at a time, and if you make a mistake, stop, play that one little part over and over until you can't play it wrong. And one thing I like to do is just make sure I can play it 4 times in a row without messing up, and then I'll go back and put it in context with whatever else I'm working on. So instead of learning a whole scale or song or solo all at once, break it into small sections. Take it one part at a time. Play each little piece until you can play it perfectly over and over, and then do the same thing with the next little piece. And once you can play that perfectly over and over, put those 2 pieces together, and then just keep repeating that process one piece at a time, and then add it with the rest. And yes, I know that's tedious, but trust me, it works. I want you to try it out and see how much more consistent your playing becomes. You'll stop making the same mistakes, and you'll actually be able to get through the whole thing perfectly. Now, don't just watch this video and do nothing. I want you to actually try this starting today. Practice every day. Start to incorporate some type of technique exercises into your practice routine. And when you're learning new things, take it into small sections and don't move on until the next part until you can play that part perfectly over and over. If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more tips, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.